Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about cephalosporin. So this was a requested video from a long time, so I decided to finally, since I've already told you all on my Instagram stories that I will be only doing requested videos for now because there are a lot of requested videos which I have to do. So without further ado, let's get into the video now. So cephalosporin belong to beta-lactam antibiotic group and they are derived from the fungus called Cephalosporinium, and also the mechanism is that the bactericidal action inhibits the synthesis of bacterial cell wall synthesis. They are bactericidal agents by cell lysis, bind to the penicillin binding proteins PBS on the bacterial cell membrane and inhibit cell wall synthesis, and also they inhibit the peptidoglycan synthesis by inhibiting the transpeptidine reaction, failure of cross-linking of peptidoglycan. Also, if you talk generally about the adverse reaction, it is a skin rash, pruritus, Stevens-Johnson syndrome, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, seizures, nephrotoxicity, allergic reaction. Beta-lactam bactericidal antibiotics derived semi-synthetically from cephalosporin C, obtained from fungus Cephalosporinium acronium, and contain basic structure of dihydrothiazine ring fused to a beta-lactam ring having 20 amine to form 7 aminos cephalosporinic acid. So this is the structure where you can see the structure of cephalosporin. So we'll look into the contraindications: hypersensitivity reactions, autoimmune hemolytic anemia, disulfiram-like reaction, vitamin K deficiency, nephrotoxic synergy with aminoglycosides. We'll also look into the pharmacokinetics. So the most cephalosporins are excreted via kidney through tubular secretion, and also ceftriaxone and cefoprazone are secreted in the bile. Nephrotoxicity of these drugs is increased with loop diuretics. So cephalosporins are classified into 5 generations, where these 5 generations have different drugs per their indications. So let's look into the first one. First generation is pronounced as FA or PHA, which means FA. So we'll look in the drugs that are included this. So they are available in intravenous and intramuscular form, IV or IM. So they're more effective against gram-positive cocci, streptococci or staphylococci, not active against penicillin resistant strains, and they are less effective in gram-negative bacteria. So the drugs are cephaloxin, which is IV or IM, cephalexin oral, cephadrin is oral, and the uses are surgical prophylaxis is a drug of choice for cefalexin. Treatment for cellulitis. So the first generation cephalosporins might be used to treat skin and soft tissue infections, UTIs, strep throat, ear infections and pneumonia. So cephalexin, we'll look into cephalexin, which is a drug for first generation, is the first cephalosporin available for oral use. Indications is complicated UTI. Dosage form is capsule, tablet or syrup. So the second generation is active against gram-negative bacilli, which is E. coli, His Picillia, Proteus, H. influenza, M. catarrhalis. So they are less active against gram-positive organism than the first generation. Only cefoxitin, cefmetozole and cefotitan are effective against bacteroides fragiles, which is anaerobes. So the drugs which are in the second generation oral is cefprozil, cefuroxime acetyl, and parenteral is cefuroxime and cefoxitin. Then the indications are basically infection treated, respiratory tract infections, uncomplicated UTIs, surgical wound prophylaxis and pneumococcal pneumonia. So for the second generation is the drug cefuroxime. The drug is oral and parenteral cephalosporin. Indications is GI indication in gonorrhea, meningitis, and in H influenza. So, like I told you previously, and the dosage form is cefuroxime acetyl tablet or syrup and cefuroxime sodium. So now we look into the third generation, which is ceftriaxone cefotaxime, active against gram-positive organism Staphylococcus or Staphylococci, and they are gram-negative cocci is Gonorrhea C, and gram-negative bacilli is Pseudomonas anaerobis bacteroides, and ceftazidime cefoprozine, effective against Pseudomonas. Oral is cefixime cefpodixime. Parenteral is cefotaxime and ceftriaxone. Ceftriaxone is for gonorrhea, salmonella or E. coli. Third generation cephalosporins may also be used to treat skin and soft tissue infections, pneumonia, UTIs, gonorrhea, meningitis, Lyme disease and sepsis. Fourth generation is same activity as the third generation, more resistant to B. lactomyces, possesses activity against gram-negative organism, resistant to third generation cephalosporin. Efficacy against gram-positive cocci is similar to third generation compounds, only as parenteral form, which is cefepime and cefpirome. The fifth generation can be used to treat bacteria including resistance Staphylococcus aureus and Streptococcus species that are resistant to penicillin antibiotics. They include ceftriaxone, ceftobiprole. So I hope this video was useful. So the fifth generation was newly added. Previously there were only 4 generations. So I hope this video will be useful because this particular topic was most requested on my DMs, so I believe that it will be useful if you share among your friends, and because this is going to be really useful for them. And also I understand this topic is really confusing because of the generics. They're a little bit tricky to pronounce, but if you get a hang of it, I'm sure you're gonna know it better. So it's basically you need to understand how it is pronounced. So I hope you found this video really useful. Also I have added the table where you will understand better of the first generations, second generation, third generation, fourth generation and fifth generation, also their organisms which they belong to. So if you want me to do a mind map of this particular topic, please do not forget to comment below. I will do a mind map of the drugs including. So if you want me to do that, please do not forget to leave a comment below, or you can drop me a DM on my Instagram. So all the links are given below, and also do follow me there because I share a lot of information there also, because through posts I can share a lot of things. So do not forget to follow me there also, and also subscribe to my channel. And I hope you are finding my channel really useful. So please do not forget to share and also keep supporting, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you.